Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Jacob Fatu scored a major victory at Backlash thanks to the help of Sikoa. Introducing Jeff Cobb at the event helped the Bloodline to keep the United States Championship in the family. That being said, things aren't looking peachy between the group's members. There is tension rising between Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, leading many to believe that a betrayal is coming soon. However, this outcome seems cliché to many fans. This is because it was just last year that WWE booked a Bloodline Civil War, which ended at Raw's Netflix premiere in January. However, booking another internal conflict, this time between Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, might be in everyone's best interest, and here are 3 reasons why Triple H should go ahead with it. 3. WWE can introduce new members to the Bloodline. The Civil War last year allowed WWE to introduce new members to the group. The likes of Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and one of the men in question here, Jacob Fatu, made their debuts this way. By booking another Civil War, WWE can add more names to the legendary faction. Jeff Cobb has already joined the list, but there is potential for more. Lance Anoa'i and Hikuleo are rumored signings who would be perfect for such a storyline. Even the likes of Bronson Reed could be added as a new permanent member. 2. Sikoa now has a new enforcer in Jeff Cobb. Speaking of Jeff Cobb, his debut at Backlash 2025 makes one thing clear. He is the new enforcer for Sikoa. As such, in the Street Champion's eyes, outside of the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu's presence is redundant. With Cobb by his side, Sikoa does not need another enforcer, so WWE could have Sikoa force Fatu out, allowing for another Civil War storyline to go forward. 1. Jacob Fatu needs to separate himself from Sikoa and be a leader. Finally, the main reason why Triple H should book another Civil War is the popularity of Fatu. The Samoan werewolf has quickly become one of the most popular names in WWE. Despite being a heel, he has fans cheering for him, and most of all, screaming his taglines. This is a sign that he has already ascended to the realm of a main event talent, and serving as Sikoa's lackey just won't do anymore. He needs to be a leader and separate himself from Sikoa. He needs to become his own tribal chief and lead other members of his family. This will not only establish him as a big star, but it will also make him one of the faces of the company. The WWE Universe has been captivated for years by the ever-evolving saga of the Bloodline. What started as Roman Reigns' rise to tribal chief dominance turned into one of the most cinematic, layered storylines in modern wrestling. But now, with Roman Reigns temporarily absent and Sikoa stepping into the power vacuum with ruthless authority, it's time for the next chapter, a Bloodline Civil War between Sikoa and the fearsome Jacob Fatu. Triple H, the creative force behind WWE's current direction, must recognize the storytelling gold in this potential war. Here are 3 compelling reasons why this must be booked, and soon. 1. The Clash of Titans, a battle for the soul of the Bloodline. The Bloodline isn't just a faction, it's a dynasty. And dynasties don't crumble quietly, they implode from within. Ever since Roman Reigns took a step back after his loss at SummerSlam, Sikoa has slowly transformed into the new enforcer-turned-leader of the group. With Paul Heyman reluctantly backing him and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa by his side, Solo has turned the Bloodline into a darker, more chaotic force. Enter Jacob Fatu, the unpredictable juggernaut. He didn't come to WWE to play sidekick, he came to conquer. His presence oozes danger, charisma, and legacy. A former MLW World Champion, Jacob Fatu is viewed by many as the spiritual successor to Umaga and the heir to the throne of Savage dominance. But therein lies the conflict, Solo already thinks he's the heir. A civil war between Solo and Jacob would be about more than just leadership, it would be about legacy, respect, and identity. Both men carry the bloodline of greatness, but only one can be the true successor to Roman Reigns' empire. The storytelling possibilities are endless. Will Paul Heyman be torn between 2 alphas? Will Roman return to take sides? Will the family be forced to choose? Triple H could craft months of layered storytelling from this feud, showcasing tribal tradition, betrayal, and a brutal battle for the future of the Anoa'i legacy. 2. A star-making feud for a new era of dominance. Triple H has made it clear that he wants to focus on building new stars, and nothing does that better than a hard-hitting feud with stakes, emotion, and visibility. Sikoa has already begun to blossom under the spotlight, shedding his silent enforcer role and stepping into a leadership position. However, Jacob Fatu brings a level of intensity and unpredictability that can't be ignored, and in a head-to-head feud, both men will rise. Much like the Shield triple threat cemented the legacies of Roman, Seth, and Dean, a Solo vs. Jacob civil war could mark a similar turning point for WWE's future. The matches between the two would be absolutely vicious, a fusion of street brawling, high-impact Samoan style, and deeply personal storytelling. Fatu's high-flying brutality mixed with Solo's cold, methodical power creates a dream match scenario every fan would buy into. But it's not just about the in-ring action. A civil war opens the door for deeply emotional promos, family council segments, tribal ceremonies, and even callbacks to Samoan history. Triple H, with his emphasis on cinematic storytelling and athletic realism, could use this feud to launch both men into the stratosphere. Not every feud needs a title. Some wars are fought for blood, respect, and legacy. This one would define a generation. 3. The perfect setup for Roman Reigns' return and final act. Triple H is a master at long-term booking, and nothing could tee up Roman Reigns' eventual return better than a bloodline implosion. Imagine the scenario: Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu go to war. The locker room is split. Heyman is unraveling. The family is embarrassed on a global stage. Then, in the chaos, a familiar song hits, Roman Reigns returns. But this time, he's not the unstoppable tribal chief of old. He's coming back to fix what his ambition destroyed. Roman doesn't need a title to be the centerpiece of WWE, he needs purpose. And there's no better way to reintroduce him than as a fallen king who must confront the monsters he helped create. A civil war creates the emotional foundation for Roman's next chapter, possibly his final one. He could return to mediate, only to realize that the younger generation no longer needs him. Or worse, that they resent him. Maybe Jacob Fatu was promised a seat at the table and never got it. Maybe Solo feels abandoned. Perhaps Roman is forced to choose sides, or destroy both to reclaim control. In any version of this tale, the Civil War adds fuel to Roman's return and gives him the emotional weight his comeback needs. It also allows WWE to slowly phase Roman into a special attraction role while elevating Solo and Jacob as the central figures of WWE's tribal legacy. The potential is too rich to ignore. Conclusion: Civil War is not an option, it's a necessity. WWE has a rare opportunity in front of them. They have two rising forces in Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu who are not only believable main event talents, but also members of wrestling's most storied family. Booking a bloodline civil war isn't just smart, it's essential. Triple H has always had an eye for legacy, passion, and storytelling. With the right blend of emotional promos, savage brawls, and family drama, this feud could rival, or even surpass, the original Bloodline saga. Let Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa go to war. Let them destroy each other to prove who deserves to sit at the head of the table. Let the ashes of that war shape the future of WWE. And when the smoke clears, let Roman Reigns return, not as tribal chief, but as the final boss. The Bloodline Civil War isn't just good TV. It's wrestling magic waiting to happen.